Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. We have a long requested track, man, that it's time to get her done. That's Jam Baxter Rush, produced by Jon Phonics. I think it's probably the first time I'm going to hear anything from Phonics, man. So it's always nice to hear a new producer. Always a big fan of the producers over that side of the pond, man. So let's, without further, and you know how I feel about Jam. I mean, I've said it a million times. So let's just jump in, man. See what they got for us. Right at the start, man, I like the chimes, that underlying bass line, the clap. It all comes together, man. So nice.
Yeah, somewhere in the warm seedy side street, snooping round way beyond reality's benign reach. Stretched across the web of cloud, dripping in divine heat was I, picking bugs from my dried teeth. Life sleeps, sky simmering, bright smile squirming on the face, eyes glistening. Tongue 1 foot skanking round my mouth. Brain still pissed that I dragged it out the house. There's about 2 ways to spend yourself in summer: chasing pigeon feathers and bathing in melted butter. Pour yourself another. Nothing says fresh like a jug of gin, swimming round rusted red flesh. Seen
Ooh.
in the
Okay, I gotta admit, my brain was having a hard time for a second at the beginning because seeing all the the raw meat on the plate and the visuals. I think the album this is from is called Fresh Flesh or something to that effect. So I don't know if this is the visuals they used for all the tracks on this album, but I was feeling as if a little bit. I saw the meat, and then my brain was trying to make the connection between the lyrics and the meat, and then I hear the bugs, and I start thinking about how very much there's that push to get people to stop eating meat and start eating bug protein, but this song is like 10 years old. So I started to get a little bit confused on that aspect, trying to draw out what Jam is talking about. Hey, one of the things about Jam too is he is such a magnificent poet and storyteller, and he's so magnificent with the pictures that he paints that it really does leave open for interpretation any number of things when you listen to this song. But I'm not pulling that from that. I'm getting, because he talks about the rust. Did he say something about the rusty? Oh shit! I'm trying to think of what he was saying now. It's about pouring that jug of gin, I think he said. But when I'm thinking about rusty, I think he says rusty. It makes me think about something that's old and corroded and kind of abused, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is a song about alcoholism, and it's about drinking yourself to the point where your liver is shit, and that's why it's rusted. Again, I think he said rusted. But that's the word that's coming to me. But so I'm thinking this song is it about alcoholism? Is it about addiction? I'm gonna bring it back here, man, just a tad. But again, man, I mean, there's a reason why he will go down as one of the best to ever do this, man. Just brilliant.
yeah. Somewhere in the warm seedy side street, snooping round way beyond reality's benign reach. Stretched across the web of cloud, dripping in divine heat was I, picking bugs from my dried teeth. Life sleeps, sky simmering, right smile squirming on the face, eyes glistening. Tongue 1 foot skanking round my mouth. Brain still pissed that I dragged it out the house. There's about 2 ways to spend yourself in summer: chasing pigeon feathers and bathing in melted butter. Pour yourself an offer. Nothing says fresh like a jug of gin, swimming round rusted red flesh. See me in assorted golden suits, night air like a creepy web fingered old masseuse. Fonts deep in the muscle tissue, world scrolling past. Whole crew like a tranquilized shoulder sharks. With gold dust spewing out the mouth for you. Let me launch your feet off the ground for you. Roll up and roll back the cloud for you. Burn them out for you. I hang around for the rush. So let me clean the dust out your mouth for you. See a jet of rum burst out the ground for you. This shit will roll back the cloud for you. Burn them out for you. I neck them down for the rush. Impaled on the ray of light spinning. Spent the last day and night winning. And teaching every blitzed out clown how to drink down the fountain and stay alive swinging. Crunk, too proud to care. Watch the sunbeams bounce round the lair. My body painted on a thick cloud of air. Let it spill into a waterfall and drip down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that hook is magnificent, man. The way that he delivers it is top notch, but just the imagery that he painted in that hook, man, it really does bring me back to the addiction analogy that I was thinking that it probably was, and not just because he brings up a few different things, which makes me think it's not just one addiction or the other. There's the alcoholism. I think that the idea of there's almost like a surrealism in terms of the effect of what all the number of things that he's doing throughout the night, like the tranquilizers. Because I think he talked about it like I think he said something about the crew is tranquilized, like a tranquilized, I think he said, shoal of sharks. So this makes me think that there's a number of things, maybe some heroin involved there. Because he's talking about the burning. He's also talking about like peeling back the clouds and stuff like that. I think there's like a number of different addictions all. And he even says there again in the first verse about like his brain being pissed that you dragged him out, right? Like kind of like your brain, your mind, you kind of know that it's probably better if you stay home, but it's pissed off because yet again you're dragging it out into a situation that it knows better and really doesn't want to pollute itself, destroy itself, any number of different things. But he goes out and to the point where he's spends an entire evening just ravaging his body with drugs and alcohol, and then he wakes up on beams of light. Like it's, bro, beautiful.
Held on the ray of light spinning. Spent the last day and night winning. And teaching every blitzed out clown how to drink down the fountain and stay alive swinging. Crunk, too proud to care. Watch the sunbeams bounce round the lair. My body painted on a thick cloud of air. Let it spill into a waterfall and drip down the stairs. He saw the Virgin Mary burnt onto a slice of bread, but I didn't wolfed it down. Waltzed out, gliding west. Polite request. Meet me in that warm strip of space, squashed right between life and death. I'll provide a mess, you supply the rest. Idle hands pump pesticide inside the nest. Blank faces and skin tight spats.
Bro, hey, what am I saying, man? This is coming together now, man. That's some imagery right there, bro. The idea too about, I mean, everyone is so after their 15 minutes of fame. Imagine toasting a piece of bread. Well, you can think about it two ways. Imagine being that person that would toast a piece of bread and see the Virgin Mary and then call I think it's the Sun. This is the Sun, the tabloid, I think it is there. Call the Sun to send a reporter over so they can, and a photographer so they can take a picture of your Virgin Mary toast and do an article about you so you can be on the front page. And also imagine being the person that you toast a piece of bread and you look at it and it looks like the Virgin Mary, and your first thought is, fuck it, I'm hungry. You butter that shit and you're out. So it's just kind of that weird duality to that verse, or that bar. And the idea too, where he's talking about, which makes me get back to that addiction thing with multiple levels of it, when he's talking about the hands injecting the pesticide in the nest, which makes me think like that's the heroin going into the veins. And he says, I'll provide the mess. Just another little nugget popped into my head here, man, but I'll keep that one to myself.
The sunbeams bounce round the lair. My body painted on a thick cloud of air. Let it spill into a waterfall and drip down the stairs. He saw the Virgin Mary burnt onto a slice of bread, but I didn't wolfed it down, waltzed out gliding west. Polite request, meet me in that warm strip of space, squashed right between life and death. I'll provide a mess, you supply the rest. Idle hands pump pesticide inside the nest. Blank faces and skin-tight spider webs. I rolled in amidst a gang of uninvited guests, with gold dust spewing out the mouth for you. Let me launch your feet off the ground for you. Roll up and roll back the cloud.
Okay, I will say it. Is this a song about a drug dealer? Because of the whole idea of you don't get high on your own supply type of thing. So, I mean, that might be a reach, but the idea that, this is, like I said, this might be a reach, but he's drinking this whole time. But he's not doing the drugs, he's supplying the drugs. And even it says about the gold dust, like spitting that, the things coming out of his mouth, right? And I'll like knock. What do you say? Something will blow the legs out underneath it. Kind of all idea that he talks you. He talks a good talk, right? He gets you with his words, and he gets you to buy his drugs and do his drugs. He tells you how great they are, and then he says all these great things he'll do for you if you take his drugs. And that goes back to I'll supply the mess as well. So I wonder if it's and that's too. Maybe he sees the Virgin Mary in the toast. And that's kind of maybe was a divine intervention, maybe a sign from God that maybe you should stop being a drug dealer and stop giving these folks drugs to OD on and stuff like that. And he couldn't care less, ate it, moved on. So it's just, again, the interpretation is open for so many different things, man. But that's kind of where I'm gonna hear this hook again and see what I think.
The webs, I rolled in amidst a gang of uninvited guests, with gold dust spewing out the mouth for you. Let me launch your feet off the ground for you. Roll up and roll back the cloud for you. Burn them out for you. I hang around for the rush. So let me clean the dust out your mouth for you. See a jet of rum burst out the ground for you. This shit will roll back the cloud for you. Burn them out for you. I neck them down for the rush. Flight of the unflappable. Life of a young cannibal. Chewing down every passerby with the pace of a slug in the eyes of a drugged animal. Roll through the capital. City stewing in its juices. The syrup oozes out the brickwork. A true glutton feast on any skyline he chooses. I was peeking, rolled up and stapled to the ceiling, heavy breathing. Let the grease saturate my evening, we were dreaming. Fresh out of quarantine, breathing like ants in the bag of sugar feeding. I meet you out creeping among the melted faces, where humid summer nights drag them all out their cages. 6 a.m. sedated, long days and fresh blood to boil them in. Still loitering, I hang around for the rush. We go.
That's my final answer, man. That's my final answer. This is a song about a drug dealer bringing his stuff out, because he even says like he looks at these people like a cannibal. It's just something for him to feed off of, him to give them the drug is take their money. And there's times where that person's not going to live. They're not going to survive taking the drugs. He can feast on any city he wants. So he like he says, rolling through the capital, that type of thing. Yeah, man, that's how and then stick around for the rush. Like, is that something a drug dealer would do? Watch this, give this person heroin, and then you watch them do it, and you watch them, go to another dimension type of shit. You just sit there and you stick around for the rush. You see them enjoy the product that you provided. Makes me think that's what it is, man. And I could be way the hell off with that, but that's where my brain took me on this song. It's a cool track, man. The imagery, just magnificent. Yeah, man. Appreciate this. Appreciate the request.
6 a.m. sedated, long days and fresh blood to boil them in. Still loitering, I hang around for the rush with gold dust spewing out the mouth for you. Let me launch your feet off the ground for you. Roll up and roll back the cloud for you. Burn them out for you. I hang around for the rush. So let me clean the dust out your mouth for you. See a jet of rum burst out the ground for you. This shit will roll back the cloud for you. Burn them out for you. I neck them down for the rush.
Yeah, man, I dig that track. I want to hear it now a couple more times. Just see, now that I came to that conclusion after the second and third verse, that makes me want to go back and listen to it again to see that first verse and see if it all comes together in the way that I thought. Could be way off, I don't know. But that was a cool track, man. I'm always here for some jam. Goat, man. So, again, thanks for being here. I'm sure you cats have heard it a bunch of times. If you haven't, make sure you go over, give it a watch, give it a listen, show them some love. And I love you guys, man, each and every day. Until next time, stay safe. Good to each other.